Yo guys, Vision here, bringing you some more Call of Duty Black Ops 7 content. With today's video, I have some more competitive gameplay, another S&D and Respawn series, a super fun episode to take part in, create content for, and I am very excited to share this video with you guys, adding to that playlist of competitive games so far in Black Ops 7, as we now have rank play in the game, following the Season 2 update, as well as the Season 2 Reloaded release that has just happened. So sit back, stay tuned, and let's get right into it. So first things first, if you guys are new to the channel and this series, I have been grinding out Iridescent this year with regards to rank play on our journey in getting back to that top level, as well as these competitive series that I've been hosting and creating content for and uploading since the launch of Black Ops 7, which has massively helped both me and my friends to prepare for rank play. At the point of recording this video a few weeks back in advance, you are going to be seeing this content, which is where I'm already at Crim 2 at the point in my journey in getting to Iridescent. So maybe by the time this video actually arrives, I'll have hit my goal and being back at Iridescent level, and with this video explaining the purpose of this series, the structure and format of these tournaments that I take part in, all of the players who also help me and take part in this as well, building on that competitive content for this series and this channel. For anyone out there that wants to watch people more relatable, that play this game for a passion rather than for a full-time living like professional players. And as we go through the video, I'll share all of the details as to what this content is, in case you guys, like I said, are new, and also just giving you guys a brief overview on how Black Ops 7 has gone so far, what's coming up so far on the channel, and also with regards to Black Ops 7 and future seasons, and all of those things. So with a general overview, I'd say first things first, I guess it's always worth highlighting the tournament, the fashion of which it takes place, the format, structure, players, results, all of these features, which I'll go over as well. So if you guys, like I said, if you're new to the channel, I have a past history of playing game battles back in the day, rank play in the past, of being iridescent and trying to get back into that grind right now, improving that I belong back at that level alongside the other iridescents and top 250s, as that's the level I'm trying to get back to. I've been there in the past and I don't play this game full time. As you guys, if you are new, I play Minecraft, I play Marvel Rivals, I play a lot of zombies, I play other games on this channel. So it's a really impressive thing for me to be able to prove to myself, but not only myself, but also to you guys, that I can play this game at this level whilst also playing all of those other games, and just showing you guys that it's not all about just playing the game 12 hours a day. And you know, it does require a large amount of skill, of course, but at the same time there's passion involved, and there's all about just the general enjoying the game aspect that people quite or misunderstand or don't appreciate how much of an important factor that is. And just trying to prove to you guys that even someone like myself, who has a full-time job out there, creates content on the side as a part of his hobby, and just wants to get back to that level, improving that he can play at this level. And these sort of tournaments that I've been hosting and creating content for since the launch of Black Ops 7 has been a massive contributing factor to me both enjoying the game, but also being better at the game in preparation for rank play, and helping me improve those chances at getting to Iridescent. And the structure of this series, I guess I'll go over all of the details, as I said, of who took part and what sort of content you're watching right now with regards to seeing a free-for-all literally right in front of your eyes. But everything you see here right now is that it has a purpose, and there is an ultimate goal, there is a finale, a final area where we want to get to and arrive at later down the line in the season with regards to Black Ops 7. But I guess it's just worth highlighting this format that you're watching right now, and the structure and the sort of tournament style fashion that we're going to be playing and showing you guys in this episode with regards to how we have got to this point in the time. Because as for the structure of this series, this was a planned and recordable competitive setting where we had a new concept introduced called the Captain Series. So again, you have to forgive me, but apologies in case you guys are new. As you can imagine, I'm a small creator, so I'm creating content for a wide audience. In case you guys are new, I'm going to just quickly explain the backstory and the history of how we've got to this point, and also what I mean by Captain Series. So originally starting Black Ops 7 with regards to creating tournaments in the background, I wanted a community, a scene amongst me and my friends where we could play Black Ops 7, scrim against one another, but also take it seriously to give ourselves a better chance in rank play, and just trying to take on board all of the feedback that I've had from both my friends over the years, and also try and do something special, something memorable, that when we look back a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it may be, we have a history and a recordable sort of backstory as to how Black Ops 7 went as a whole. I've been keeping all of the data recorded, all offline, and I've been saving it, and we just also work towards this ultimate goal and getting to a finale point in Black Ops 7. And this series in particular is a new concept, one of many concepts that I'll address in this video that I've come up with myself, utilizing, like I said, some feedback from friends, and trying to create a different dynamic, a different environment, whilst also making it competitive, still being scrim-like it as you will, but in the most part it's also competitive to the point where people want to win more than just scrimming with your set teammates or whatever it may be, and it changes all throughout. But I guess as for this series and the purpose of this particular format, the whole point was to try and change it up, to try and have a 4v4 environment, but utilize a different sort of leading structure. So initially, what I designed was to have 2 players at the top of the power rankings, something that's offline and kept away from you guys. You wouldn't know what that's all about. But the 2 players who have been performing the best based on winning results all the way throughout the season so far would be ranked number 1 and 2, seed 1 and 2, effectively, in case you guys are familiar with how that sort of works, and give you guys a full understanding on exactly where people are going to be ranked and how they've sort of been performing. So both me and my brother were going to be the captains for this series. However, following some feedback, I introduced this different idea of using a free-for-all as a warm-up method going into this series, and it was actually meant for a different format, but my friend actually liked the idea of utilizing a free-for-all, and both being a warm-up method, but also a utilizing sort of source of material to actually create that as a seeding purpose. So we went into a free-for-all, which is what you saw at the start of this video, of doing literally 8 players, first to 30 kills, and then the winning order from 1 to 8 would be the team structure with regards to how players are picked and seeded in terms of their teams. So apologies that that's quite confusing, but I'm trying to explain it as best I can. So effectively, we did a free-for-all, first to 30. The number 1 player, so the person who won the free-for-all, would be seed 1, and then the last player would be seed 8. Effectively, from that point onwards, the top 2 seeds would become captains. They'd split off into their own teams, and they would then draft their teams based on the standings. Now, there was a little catch to it, like if you were 3rd and 4th seed, you would basically be in a bracket together, meaning you can't be picked together, so you have to be split apart, and then same as 5th and 6th, and same as 7th and 8th. So the whole point was to try and divide people playing with different people to make sure we don't keep having the same number of people working together all the way throughout the season, and we try and play with different types of teammates and trying to change it up with different map pools and so on, all to work towards an ultimate goal, as well as helping benefit us with rank play. And that's kind of the purpose of this, and that's what this series was all about. So it was a best of 9 mixed respawn and S&D series. So you're going to have map 1 Hardpoint, map 2 S&D, map 3 Overload, and so on all the way throughout, which you're going to see all the way throughout this video as I talk us way through. As well as this captain series is recorded as what we differentiated earlier on in the series. So in case, like I said, if you are new and you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, the minor and major concepts in our series. So we have major tournaments and we have minor tournaments. Now, kind of similar to the CDL, in case you guys have seen that and you guys know all about the CDL, that's kind of the idea or the inspiration behind what we designed with this one, trying to create not only some major tournaments, some more serious competitive, whether it's money on the line or whether it's just bragging rights. We also have a minor series concept where we have less competitive style formats. So like for said, captain series, where we're drafting based off a free-for-all. It's not as competitive as the likes of maybe knowing who your 4-man team is in advance and then working together in a more sort of serious style format. That's kind of the theory behind making it or differentiating the two, because we want people to sort of have a difference in terms of what sort of styles we're going for, and it's not just always so serious, but at the same time it's more serious than the likes of a scrim where you're just playing private matches for the sake of it, people are trolling, whatever. If there's stuff on the line, i.e. stats or winning records or whatever it may be, something that someone has to play for outside of their own play style, then it does also help, and I've seen a massive change in the way people sort of work towards taking it more seriously and just generally have better practice in itself. So this is just something successful I found along the way, and look, the whole reason I'm explaining this, and I appreciate most people watching this do not have any interest in that, and I totally get that, but I'm trying to build a season-long story as to work towards something pretty fun and pretty cool. At the end of the day, I want to create an ultimate sort of LAN party. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I know most of you guys out there would always either love to take part in that or have done in the past, and you guys know all about what it's like to either host a LAN or take part in playing with your friends that you grew up playing with, whether it's from school or playing them, meeting them through online, which I've got a mixture of. I've met someone that I met about 15 years ago. He's Welsh. I've met him in real life, and this has all happened from playing games and continuing this tradition all the way through to our adulthood and still playing together. This is all a special thing for both myself and all of our friends, and the whole point of why I want to share this is something I want to look back on years from now and hopefully inspire people out there to take part in just playing COD at a higher level, whether you take it seriously or not, or if you ever want to take part in anything like this. Of course, you can let me know down below your PSN ID or your Activision ID, whatever it may be, because the more the merrier, and building towards, like I said, this ultimate goal and having a final sort of championship style series, like the end of the line sort of major tournament, like the biggest one, kind of like champs in a way, as you would say in the CDL format, but just obviously down to more our sort of style, of course, where it's just something really cool, and that we've worked towards a whole season-long sort of format, and that's kind of what all of these major and minor tournaments are for. They're leading towards an ultimate goal, a storyline on who is the best player at Black Ops 7, who is the best players, or who's the best team, or whatever it may be, whether it's solos, duos, fours, you name it. We're working towards this ultimate goal on having a whole storyline and a whole history, something we remember and we look back on, like I said, years from now, and we have something really special to just have. And I want to share that journey with you guys, because a part of creating content on this channel is also not only just creating competitive content for rank play, but I want it to be more special, I want it to be more unique and just sort of personal to both myself, my friends, and also for you guys to help join us on this journey and seeing all of the improvements that we've made as players, and also for myself, and hopefully along that journey I can help teach you guys, inspire you you guys, and also just make this an enjoyable content for you guys to watch for both entertainment purposes, but also with it being quite unique in the sense that I've come up with this whole concept of arranging and hosting my own tournaments with my own friends, rather than it being through CMG or Console Kings or whatever it may be in this day and age, utilizing those tournaments where obviously we would like to do them because you'd have more people involved, but this is just amongst bragging rights and for me and my friends to just continue getting better throughout the year, and also just kicking it back and reminding ourselves that playing COD alongside your friends, whether it's from childhood or also just playing with people you met along the way, it's all special, and that's what matters at the end of the day. And that's kind of the whole ethos behind this concept and this whole series and the playlist that we got so far with this journey in creating content for Black Ops 7. And that's kind of what I want to continue just creating content for you guys to make you aware that anything's possible, and there's so many more opportunities out there other than just playing standard rank play, which of course is fun and it does have its issues, and we will talk about rank play in a short while. But I just wanted to give you guys a full backstory, because again, a lot of you guys that can be watching this video have either seen this for the first time or you've seen maybe one or two of the episodes and you want maybe be familiar with the whole concept. So that's why I wanted to give you guys all of the extra details and make you guys aware of everything that's happened so far to this point. But of course, I will just summarize all of the structure of this episode, the tournament format, the results of all of the players who took part, and of course the winning team and so on, which unfortunately, spoiler alert, I was not on the winning side of this one, which unfortunately does happen to be a recurring case in some of these formats. But again, we'll get into the details and it's not a big deal. There's a lot I learned from this one, and I'm glad that of course we tried out a different style concept with the captain series, but there are definitely some negatives and sort of pros and cons to all of it, which of course I've taken on board and look to utilize the feedback going forward into future concepts, which we have plenty more planned out ahead, and I'll get all of those details out to you guys very shortly. So as you can tell, I'm very fortunate to know and be friends with various different players who are competitively minded, either with a past or current experience dating back 10 or more so years. For a lot of the players that take part, this has just made it very competitive and a serious environment. As I said, a lot is on the line with pride and bragging rights, and just sometimes there's going to be money on the line, and at the end of the day, it's just a really fun experience that I wanted to share with you guys. These are all my closest friends who have plenty of experience. Some of them are my actual family. I've had my cousin take part who won an MVP for this thing that again, I'll get into the details of the MVP thing, but also my brother who's just won multiple MVPs and been really good at this game so far, and also, spoiler alert, has won the MVP for this one, which we'll get into. But you'll just see throughout there are so many cool moments with different maps and modes, and like I said, I record all of the data, so we learn from all of these experiences with knowing who has the best match record, whether it comes down to head-to-head versus certain players, whether it's winning success against certain or on certain maps and modes, or whether it's just simply the overall format, whether you win the entire event, as we call this. And pretty much at this rate, we've been running at least 2, maybe sometimes 3 events per month, almost at this point with Black Ops 7, only being 3.5 to 4 months old by the time you're going to see this video. So this is going to be like that. By the time you guys see this video, we might have already done our 10th one. And at the point of recording this video, I'm literally going to be playing the next one at the very night after recording this video. So there's plenty lined up in the pipeline to share with you guys. And like I said, hopefully inspire you on that journey and just giving you guys a full understanding of all of the details with regards to Black Ops 7 and what's been going on. But I guess it's probably worth now talking about the format you're watching and the tournament, the results, the players and stuff like that, because I've talked enough. I do appreciate if you are still here to this point. But firstly, thank you, because I generally have just sort of rambled on for a lot of details there that maybe most people who are new to watching the channel have no interest in hearing. So I do appreciate that. But at the same time, like I said, I'm trying to be informative and give you guys as much detail as possible so you know what you're watching and you're not just a bit confused as to this isn't competitive gameplay because this isn't ranked or whatever it may be. I'm trying to answer all those questions. But with regards to this series and this actual format, tournament style event, so effectively what happened is we did a free-for-all. My brother actually won the free-for-all, getting the first to 30 kills. I actually choked it a little bit. I was on like 24 to 20 or something, or 22 to 17. I think I had a 5-kill lead at one point. The point is, I had a big lead and I choked it. Anyway, I came second, so it meant I was the captain for the second team. My brother was the first team. And then effectively, we drafted our teams, we picked our players, and then we also picked and banned the maps that we wanted to play. We vetoed maps, and we also just picked maps that we wanted to play. It's kind of the concept that we wanted to utilize. And at the same time, we then also strengthened our map pool along this journey. I had lost maps in this particular format that I hadn't lost before, which meant I learned some lessons in this, which is the valuable point and the tip and trick that I'll sort of go through as we summarize this video. But on the first hardpoint, and pretty much all of the hardpoints this point will stand for, we got out-rotated literally every single hill. Now, I'm not sure if I'm partly or largely to blame for that, but I know for a fact that some people on my this is not scapegoating, this is probably a terrible leading sort of moral point to make, but at the same time, there were people on our team that just don't quite get how to play together on hardpoint. It was very obvious, so there's some real compromise that I was finding quite early on, especially on the first hardpoint, which was on Blackout, where we could not get a P3, a P4, or a P5 to save our lives. We managed to get P2 once. We managed to get P1 because it's quite scrappy as it is quite a few times, but I guess you don't really have spawns for P1 necessarily. That map just wasn't really fluid. It just felt like really last minute and compromise where you can and just trying to sort of win scrap time or whatever it may be. But it came down to a 250 to 206 win towards the other team, so my brother's team, where they went up 1-0 in the series. Now, it was not a good start because I don't like losing hardpoints as it is. I've a pretty good hardpoint record to this point in our series, so I wanted to make sure that we bounced straight back into the S&D, which was on Standoff. Now, this was my map pick, and I love Standoff. I think it's a nostalgic map. I wish it was in the CDL. I know it's been played in previous years like Cold War, whatever, but I think it's just one of the best S&D maps of all time, and I absolutely love it. I have a really good winning record on this map, and we came out pretty quick. I ended up getting a 3-piece pretty much to start the game, and we ended up going on to win that map 6-3, which was a really good sort of statement to sort of bounce back and make sure we don't fall down 0-2 in a best of 9. So we went into map 3, having tied the series 1-1 on Overload Scar. Now, this one was always going to be difficult because I found that some of the people on my team just don't quite get Overload yet. I don't think I'm pretty good at it at all, but at the same time, I do feel like I get the idea of it, and I'm pretty consistent in the sense that I find a way to win games here or there. Now, I can improve, and this is definitely my weakest mode by far, but at the same time, we always have to have a weakest mode. That's the bottom line, and I'm happy accepting that this mode is something I need to work on. So now having the series lead in our advantage going into Game 4 on Colossus Hardpoint, we had to just continue building on that momentum and trying to find a way to win. Now, Colossus Hardpoint, so far to this point in the series that we've done, I played this a couple of times, and I have a good, convincing record on that map. However, on this particular map, we again just did not get a single spawn. I mean it. I don't think we got a single spawn all the way throughout. There were 2 players on the other team, B Money and my friend Alfie, who were just dominating, collecting those spawns. Now, I probably should have done a better job myself getting spawns, but out of the group, I felt like it was the right thing for me to just run around the hill and do the slaying aspect, which I know is arguably the easiest part, but at the same time, it's also the most important at the end of the day, because you can get as many spawns as you want, but if you're not slaying out or you're constantly getting waved, then it doesn't really matter if you're getting spawns, because you'll just get forced out from the front. And that kind of did happen at times when we did get spawns. We got the spawns, we put too much emphasis on getting the spawns, but we'd instantly just get slayed out, and I was playing in the back too often, and I found that it was actually more consistent if I was just trying to work with my teammates around getting kills from the front and then leaving one of our teammates at the back. But the moral story is we lost spawns pretty much on every single hill on this map. And both my brother and my friend B-Money just dropped some big numbers. My brother actually set the kill record in Black Ops 7 for ourselves with 58. Which as soon as I saw that at the end of the scoreboard, I'm not going to lie, I was so locked into the point where I didn't even clock that. And again, it was 250 to 185 this win for them. So if this game actually had gone on longer, he would have dropped close to 70 kills, which is ridiculous. And up to this point, I had the kill record at 54, which was set on Blackheart. And so to see that, I wasn't even mad. I just thought, wow, we just got ran, and we literally just let this guy and B-Money just run the show, whilst the other guys were either playing in the hill or just constantly collecting spawns. So it was really good to see, and like I said, I learned a lot about that map. So going into ranked, I just sort of took away some key learning points and made sure that regardless of the outcome, I was going to look at it from a positive point of view as best as I could, because that's the way you should look at these things. And then going into Game 5 on Exposure, this was a really important map because I didn't want them to win 2 straight and then sort of take the series lead back into their hands. I wanted to make sure we won another S&D, because S&D is my bread and butter, and with the team I had, I knew we could get the deal done. So we went into Exposure, and we actually got it done at 6-3, which was a really fun map, because this is one of my weakest maps, and I've been working on it for a while. I've been trying to change it up and figure out what I've been doing right and wrong, and I definitely had a good map going 10-5, and just having a general good understanding of how to play against both the team we were coming across, but also playing alongside my teammates that I had with me. And I feel like we just got a really good flow going and sort of covered the map really well. We got first blooded a couple of times as well, and we still managed to just bring it back. So whether the other team threw, I don't really know, but at the end of the day, we took the series lead back into our hands, going up 3-2 into Game 6, which unfortunately turned out to be I'd say a convincing win for the other team. They ended up winning the Den 4-2 on Overload, where we had a little bit of an issue with regards to one of our players lagging out halfway through or towards the end of the first round. But fortunately for them, they had a 3-0 lead on us, so it didn't really make a difference, because by the end of that round, we had to end the game and we had to start it back up going into Game 6 on the second half, where effectively the scores were like 3-0 to them, and then in the second half, we won 2-1, but the overall score was 4-2. It was not a good display of demonstration on Overload knowledge from my team, I must say. There was some definite issues with letting the other team just overextend and constantly relaying on each side of the map, and they played it well, and I've got to tip my hat to them, and they definitely deserve the credit for that, because like I said, there's some real issues with regards to people I've been playing with understanding this game mode in particular. Hardpoint, I'd say, because it's been a bread and butter mode for quite a few years now, and people having a long wealth of history of playing comp, I'd say Hardpoint isn't really that sort of misunderstood amongst me and my friends, whereas this mode, with it being so new, and like I said, even with it myself being my weakest mode, I'd say there's some real obvious issues amongst some of the players we play with, and I would say, yeah, that kind of was a part of the problem here, with people just not generally understanding how to slay out rather than just grabbing the ball over and over again, or making sure you cut the map down, or sometimes sacrifice that you're going to lose a point just so that you can set up for the next one, predict knowing where it lands, of course, and then making sure you get control of the map. And we just didn't really do a good job of that. Whereas on the Scar, the earlier overload that we managed to win, I felt like we did a better job. So that's the moral of the story. We got outslayed, and we also just did not get control of the ball. So it pretty much just came down to a matter of just playing the ball better than we did. So going into Game 7, this was, in my opinion, a must-win map. I did not, having a map lead literally a map ago, want to go into this map 7, lose it, and then go down in the series, which unfortunately we did. We threw away a Scar lead, which I would like to put the blame on myself for this one. Now, Scar is usually a pretty good map for mine. It's a reliable pick, but at the same time, the player I was playing against, his name is Mitch, and he's actually the first this is the first time he's played in this environment with us. So this is someone that my friend Alfie met through playing ranked play. A very just generally good guy, a nice player, and someone that's just really fun to play alongside. So this was good to incorporate him into this series and giving him a sort of a taste on what these tournament style sessions are like. He's actually a subscriber, and he actually watches these videos, so he's been seeing what it's all about, and he actually took part for the first time. And I've got to say, this map was him. This was his map. I think hopefully when he watches this video, he'll enjoy hearing this, because I feel like at the start of this map, I ran this show a little bit. I think I was 6-1, and we went up 3-0. And then I started changing it up because I went store too often in the middle of the map, the shop area, and I effectively gave it up. And from the point of then trying to retake the shop, we kind of lost too much map positioning, and I let him kind of get the better of me in that area too many times for the rest of the game. So I ended up starting off 6-1 and then finishing the map 8-8. So as you can see, I definitely did not have a second half influence on the map. And like I said, that's kind of why the blame was put on myself, because it was not acceptable. We had a good lead. I think we were up 4-2 or 4-1 at one point, and we ended up losing the map 6-4. So really not a good showing. We also lost a lot of first bloods on the motel side of the map. Of course, this map is very A heavy, which is a big downside to why a lot of people in pros don't really particularly enjoy this map. I don't mind it. I do think it's a decent map. I just feel like there needs to be some tweaks to make it an overall better map. But yeah, the moral story is I gave up too much map positioning in power spots where my teammates relied on me to be better, and I was not there, and therefore we lost the series edge, because at this point we were now down 4-3 in the series, and I really didn't want to lose this NS&D, especially considering how bad our hardpoints were to this point, and those woes unfortunately just did continue all the way throughout the series. I ended up losing all 3 hardpoints, which at this point in time recording this video, we had played 10 hull points from a 4v4 perspective in all of these series to this point, and I had won 9 out of those 10. So giving you guys an idea and a taste on as to how sort of consistent I've been in hull point, or how much I win versus other team players or whatever. That's a mode I just don't really lose. So to lose 3 in one series is really new to me, and definitely not something I want to ever continue again or have to sort of deal with again. So going into this final map, I really did not want to lose this map. One, for the sake that we lost it, but secondly, because I needed to make sure we got at least one of these hard points. And again, I did try to change it up. I tried not slaying so much and trying to play for spawns, and I tried sort of protecting my teammates and leaving the guys who were maybe less experienced or struggling a little bit to try and play the easier role, whether that was in the hill and around the hill together. And just didn't matter what I did or what that we did. Just as a team, as a collective, the other team were just better. I want to rule it down to that, because I feel they just played it really well to the point where it didn't come down to just us playing bad, or our teammates or myself playing bad, whatever. I feel like to an extent it was also the other team just playing really, really good. Like my brother and my friend B Money also dropped ridiculous numbers again in this match, going 48 and 22 for my brother and 47 and 24 for my friend B Money. And that definitely doesn't go unrecognized by myself. Like I definitely show my respect for that, and I was definitely sort of proud, or it was a good moment to see that they stepped up and they also had really good games. And at the end of the day, I don't want to lose, but at the same time I do want to see my teammates thriving, whether they're against me in this current series or not. They're still my teammates at the end of the day that I play with in ranked play, and seeing them demonstrate this level of hardpoint knowledge and also just power spots and just being really good generally at both playing together, the cohesion between understanding the mode and also just leading their troops, as it will, because they were kind of like the lead teammates for their team versus me and my friend Sam on our team, and then they got the better of us, I got to say. And they literally beat us on 4 out of the 5 respawns, so that has to be sort of credited. And throughout all of this gameplay, like to an extent I do show a lot of my own gameplay, but you will see also at times where I lose gunfights or I show other players killing me or killing my teammates, and that is to also demonstrate that these guys are also playing really well. That's kind of the purpose of it. Obviously at the end of the day, I do want to show the good parts of my own gameplay, and with 8 maps it's quite hard to filter this down into one video to make it short enough to the point where you guys don't sit here and watch a whole hour or 2 worth of content, because that's how long these things take. But at the same time, I reduce them to the point where you see the good moments both for me and my friends, to give you guys an idea on who you're watching and also the level of the players I'm playing against and with, and so on. All of these factors are important to me in our journey. As I said, we're working towards towards this season-long journey, and eventually all of these guys at one point or another will look back on this journey. I know it. They've also taken a real sort of liking to this format and just generally the concept and this sort of season-long story we've been building. So this has been a real success, and I look forward to continuing building on that going forward, because at the end of the day, this is something we've only ever done once. It's been really fun so far. It's made Black Ops 7 both more enjoyable as it is right now, and I know it'll be something we all appreciate looking back on in a year or so, however long we look back on it from now. I just know it'll be something that I remember for a long time. So it's something I've really been proud of for creating, coming up with, and also more importantly sharing with you guys to hopefully inspire you guys with playing this game, or just maybe taking part in this. Again, remind you guys, you can let me know down below your PSN IDs, Activision ID, whatever it may be, to Evie if you want to take part, because I would love to see other players take part. Like I said, with our new friend Mitch, who we met through Rank Play, who is now playing with us, this has been a cool journey so far, showing you guys that it has actually happened, and we have utilized and incorporated new people, and it's not just people I've known for a long time through school, whatever it may be. But look, if you guys are still here at this point in the video, firstly, thank you. I hugely appreciate all the support and you guys for sticking around and listening to me ramble on for as long as I have. Look, I appreciate it massively, and I thought it'd be worth just mentioning that, because I do appreciate I've gone on for 25 minutes at this point and just talking about COD, but you can tell how passionate I am. I've been spending a lot of time creating new concepts and ideas for different formats and making this as entertaining as possible for both you guys and, of course, both me and my friends in playing in this unforgettable journey so far to this point. In summary, this was the 7th of hopefully many more competitive events that I'll host and share with you guys on this channel for various different types of game modes or whatever it may be. A series that I'm super fun and excited to take part in and just continue on for various different reasons going forward. Again, hopefully inspire you guys to arrange your own tourneys perhaps, take part in when asked, or of course let me know down below in case you guys have a 4-man team that you want to sort of take on my team of 4, or whether you guys want to get involved in these tournaments, whatever it may be. You can let me know down below, guys, because I would love to take part, get you guys involved and take part in this as well. But if you have enjoyed the video, as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It massively helps me out. As you can see, I am a small creator, so I'd hugely appreciate any support. If you have any suggestions on upcoming videos that you want to see on the channel, or if you want to take part, let me know, guys, down below in the comments, of course, and I'll get right back to you. I'm Fishing Shen. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.